Action.
That's before.
Listen, for people watching this, let's hear the story. You know, where, how, when this beautiful thing called the Carnabys started.
So we all kind of met really when we were about 15, 16 in local pubs or at school or just the local music scene really. We all cottoned on to the fact that we like playing the same music, and then it kind of went from there. Started playing locally and then started writing our own stuff.
Of those shared influences, what kind of people are we talking about?
We played some great covers back in the day. We were going from like Paul Weller, Wildwood, The Stones. We even played some James Brown at some point.
Yeah, Temptations. We went from like classic rock and roll, blues, funk, soul. We played so much, and I think they've always kind of influenced us in certain ways, because that's when songwriting was phenomenal, and we're playing all these great tunes. And I think they've always stuck with us.
Let's bring it right up to date now, and you know, talk about, you know, the new album, you know, which is coming out in August. Too Much Never Enough. How does this compare to the first one? I mean, have you been able to sort of stand back and, you know, kind of be objective about it? It's got
and these and those.
Well, mainly these.
It's raw. The album is raw, and the songs are short and sharp and straight to the point. And it's something that we've loved, and I think touring and playing over the years, we've really managed to get the charisma that we've built up and the energy that we've built up on stage. We've really put it on record. We went into the studio and went for that Mick Jones approach. Just plug in and play, strip back, and just make it sound fat, and that's it.
And something that you know, is interesting, what you guys have chosen to do is, you know, in this kind of pre-order phase before the album is released, all the monies that comes through the album, you're giving to something called the Music Venue Trust. Now, for people who don't know anything about this, can you tell us about the Music Venue Trust? What is it?
Yeah, so it's an organisation that are doing something that's really important, and something that unfortunately needs a load of support within the music industry. They're basically helping to keep hundreds and hundreds of small venues up and down the UK alive and thriving, because in recent years there's been something ridiculous, like over 1,500 venues have closed due to licensing and local councils and stuff, and we feel it's really important for bands like us and for us to have places to play and places to continue to hone our craft. We've got the Astoria, the Old Vic Tunnels. It's all these great places that are gone, and you'll never be able to see bands like us or bands that are as good as bands that people have seen back in the day at these. It's like you can never relive these moments again, and it's something that needs to stop.
As well as the venues, the culture that comes with that venue, it dies.
Exactly,
as well.
yeah.
So much of it dies. I mean, all these bands that have played these venues, you speak to some older people that have been around for a while, they go, oh yeah, I remember that venue, I saw so-and-so there, I saw so-and-so there, and we've got that with the King Tuts actually, because so many people have played there. I mean, God forbid that closes down. But you know, it's insane to think that in a few years they might not be around anymore.
How important is playing live now then for a band up and coming like the Carnabys?
More important than ever.
For bands like us, where we need to build the fan base and build it up through live music and proper music, these little venues, you've got to go up step by step by step. It's almost like markers, and you'll look at a band and you go, oh, they've played there, oh, fantastic, they're moving on up. And for bands like us that aren't going to be in that mainstream pop culture, you need the support from the venues, and that's where the fans come, and that's our culture.
Like, take Harvey Goldsmith for example, asking and saying that there's not going to be any bands to replace the Stones, the Who, Led Zeppelin, and where are all these great bands coming from. You're not going to be able to have bands like that unless you've got places for bands to play. These classic bands honed their craft doing the small venues like we're doing, and it's if they're all closing down, there's nowhere for them to play. Of course you're not going to get any bands to replace the greats. The days of having a sustainable income through record sales is done. It can't happen anymore. So it's I think recent figures show that a million streams earns an artist £3,000. So unless you're a major artist like Adele or Ed Sheeran, you can't earn a living through streams or downloads. It all boils down to whether or not you want your favourite band to have any longevity. They have to earn a living through playing live. That's pretty much it.
Well, Gary, think
Unless
about
you're friends with Adele or Ed Sheeran, then you don't have to worry about
And they can get the
Yeah.
drinks in.
Think about the old model, right, of being a band. Make an album, and then you do a tour to sell the album, and that's how the world goes round in old music. Now it's completely flipped on its head. You make an album, so you've got a reason to go out on tour and play. You know, you're playing a new album on tour, so you want to sell tickets for your tour because that's how you make your money. It's completely different to what it was. So if you remove, so you're not making your money from your album anymore sales-wise, so the only income you're going to make is live. There's no venues, game over. You need the Hawley Arms, the Barflies, all those kind of things. And we've done everything from 100 people to Coco, which is, you know, a couple of thousand. Those experiences then go into the music that we write. Without one, you can't have the other. So then you kind of hit a plateau. There's no further you can go apart from your bedroom.
It's the best. I mean, the best way to see a band is a small venue.
Yeah.
You go to a big festival, right? Even if you're quite close, you're like a third away from the stage. The same band at a small venue just kicks off.
You can't beat it.
No,
You can't beat it.
It's hard
Like
work.
people singing the words to the album that's not even out yet by the time the second chorus comes round, and you think, fucking right. It's every now and then we get really, really special gigs, and it's just like it's great.
I think every gig is amazing in its own way, and when you do the little gigs, it's rammed out with people who've been like quick enough to get the ticket, you know, and they are the people who really, really love the band.
And the vibe is always steamy,
It's
isn't it?
it's just, you know, it's hot, it's sweaty, it's raucous, you're just climbing over each other, you know, stage diving, and it's just, you know, everyone in the venue is jumping up and down. It's
truly
not just like a
connect.
small section at the
Truly
front.
connect with the
Also,
band.
you've got to be on
Yeah.
your toes, because if you're sitting this close to me, you're going to see if I hit the wrong chord, aren't you? So I've got to be on my toes.
Which never happens.
Which never ever happens.
So people watching this, you know, what can they do?
If you love seeing bands, you love supporting your local venue, then you should go, regardless of
Absolutely.
who's playing. Go, pay £5 on the door, and just go and watch someone you've never seen or heard of before.
You have a
That's
good
the
night
excitement
out.
of
Us
it.
as well as musicians, and we're
Yeah.
busy, we're writing, you know, we're rehearsing all the time, but we're still going to see live bands.
Exactly.
Find bands, go support your venues, and then if you want to do more, find out about the Music Venue Trust, look into what we're doing, and if you want to support and be a part of what we're trying to do, then buy the album and get behind us, and then get involved in this bigger thing. You know, then you can turn around in 20 years' time when you're still going to watch good live bands. Said I was part of
I
that,
supported
and I
live
supported that.
music.
And for bands that you like and that are independent and doing it by themselves, just give that however much it is, £8 to buy a record. That's less than 2 pints in London. 2 pints in London
Yeah.
cost you a tenner now. But you know, but people who just buy that, yeah, fine, whatever. But as soon as it comes to music, oh, yeah, you know.
Yeah, but
so,
it tastes nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you see on Facebook that come up like, oh, 10 things to do before you go.
Oh.
Swim in Bali and do a skydive. And be at a tiny music venue where a band is going completely mental, and you're
With
just
Ben fucking
you've-
up the court.
Yeah, and you've bought a pint, and most of it's ended up on your head. But it's that kind of experience. So you walk away, and it's freezing cold outside, but you're boiling hot. You're like,
Wish I never
That
bought
was
that
good.
one.
do you know what I mean? It's like, wow, I'm not gonna forget that anytime soon.